Hello and welcome back to Around the Clock. It's time for the Select Board meeting update that happened on February 5th. It was a very full, long meeting. We all started off a little bit punchy, but we had some great things and we accomplished quite a bit. We started with the presentation of the Government Finance Officers Association Distinguished Budget Award. Brittany Capone accepted that. It was our third year winning this award. And it's always a great honor when our staff gets recognized for the work that they do for our community. From there, we heard from Carl Hackinson from the Conservation Commission, giving us and the public a little more information on the Conservation Commission to deny the permits for Eversource for their pipeline. There's still a whole process that we will be going through. Most likely we are expecting Eversource to appeal. We're not sure at what level, so be paying attention if you are interested in that. You can see the full report that Carl Hackinson gave to us by going and watching the meeting that happened on February 5th. From there, we heard from Paul Kendall regarding the Mendez school building update. So the one process has been done in regards to the feasibility study. Now the committee is going more into design, and three options were shown at the select board meeting last night. The school committee has also seen this. There will be a forum on February 24th. It's a Tuesday night where you, the public, can go find out the options, ask your questions, and give your feedback as to which option you think is better. There's three options: location at the current Mendez school, a new building. There is an ad reno at the Mendez, and then there's a location at the middle school. And again, you can go through to the select board meeting or the school committee meeting from last week and see those options, or attend the meeting on the 24th. From there, we heard from Chief Roby. We had the introduction of three new firefighters. This was a possibility through a SAFER grant, which is a state grant that gives us resources to help pay for new firefighters. This puts us at 6 firefighters per shift. Not too many years ago, we were at 4 firefighters per shift, so this is quite an increase. It's also very positive in regards to the needs of our town and the number of ambulances that we can use to respond. So congratulations to our fire department and to those that were the grant writers to get that grant. We had a public hearing for a Class 2 license at 39 Nickerson Road. This is going to be a small Class 2, about 5 vehicles. We had some questions about location and timing, but we approved that Class 2 license. We then had a public hearing for a wine and malt license at Dolce de Leche. So they are in the Telecron building. They've been open probably about 4 or 5 months. They are offering coffee and snacks and chocolate, and they would like to be able to offer wine and beer during their lunchtime and early evening hours, also during their events. We approved that wine and malt liquor license. If you have not been to Dolce de Leche, you definitely need to check them out. They have great sandwiches, always fresh soup. And of course, if you are a chocolate lover getting ready for Valentine's Day, they will have some wonderful treats. The next thing we had was a public hearing for an entertainment license for Dr. Green's. Dr. Green's is also in the Telecron building. They are an indoor golf. They also now have more billiards tables. They do have a liquor license as well, and they are now going to offer entertainment, most likely on Friday evenings, or as they have special events, and we approved that as well. We approved our consent agenda. We heard also from Mark Capadona from the Colonial Power Group. This was an update on our community choice power. So currently, if we were getting our electricity directly from Eversource, it would be 12.5 cents, and through Colonial Power, through this community choice program, it's at 11.1 cents. We did talk about the options for green and possibly more green energy, and we will be looking at that at our next contract. If you want to hear everything that Mark said, you can look at the full select board meeting. We had an update from the dog park committee. We won't go into too much detail about that. The select board did approve the granting of 2 acres off the RTD, off the MBTA access road, that will be designated for the dog park. The committee will now move forward and work with Jen Ball, our assistant town manager, on filling out paperwork for the Stanton grant. It's a grant that will allow them, the dog park committee and the town, to move forward. And if you win a Stanton grant, you get a certain amount for design and engineering, from $10,000 to $25,000. Once you've done the design and engineering, you can then apply for an actual build of the dog park. So that is the focus and goal of the dog park committee. They are not looking for any town resources. Obviously, the time of Jen Ball to help them with that, but any other matches or any other money that needs to be given and matched for the grant, they are doing fundraising, and we'll have more of a story on Around the Clock. We did a review of the select board and town manager priority projects. Our town manager had a discussion with UGC regarding Lot 2, which is the parcel between the middle school and the current Cirrus Apartments for their senior housing. We are very close, and hopefully at our first meeting in March, we'll be bringing forward a development agreement between the developer and the town, which would then help with some housing for senior housing, as well as some affordable senior housing here in Ashland. We had an update on the public safety building. They've seen their first set of plans or they will be, on the 12th of February. So if you're interested, you can attend one of their meetings and find out more detail. We had an update on the downtown project. It will be going out to bid on March 6th, and we were able to tie in the Mill Pond project that got approved at the fall town meeting. So the look of Mill Pond into downtown will tie in together, which will be a very nice addition and update for our downtown. We also got an update on the Warren District and Valentine Barn. We have now been given approval by, I believe it's either DEP or EPA, to do the demolition of the barn that's on the Warren property. There was asbestos found, so we couldn't do anything with it except demolish it. So we're waiting for that, and that should be happening probably within the next 3 to 6 weeks. We then did some updates, old and new business. We talked about new regulations regarding PFAS chemicals. It could affect different water supplies, and there are no regulations out yet, but we're just getting ahead of the curve to make sure that we are prepared for any new regulations and new testing that may have to happen on our water supply. We had a very detailed discussion about the Eversource process, and we did decide and vote to hire a technical consultant to help support the work and the reviewing of information on this Eversource pipeline project. We discussed our town council's evaluation process. This is our probably 3rd year doing this process, where we evaluate the town manager and determine, not the town manager, our town council, and then determine if we're going to renew their contract. We had an update on the Ashland Post Office, not very much apparently. They have done the remediation in regards to what needs to be done. Now they need to go out to bid to get the work done. And again, you can ask Town Hall about it, but it's actually a federal building. So if you have more specific questions, you can reach out to the post office itself or to Catherine Clark's office. We approved the home rule petition for changing the name of the Board of Selectmen officially to the Select Board. So moving forward, our charter paperwork and everything can be updated because it has been approved by the legislature. We opened our 2020 annual town meeting warrant. The town meeting will be happening on Wednesday, May 6th. You can look at the timeline online, and if you have articles that you'd like to submit, or if you have questions or you're interested in going to hearings, the whole schedule will be available on ashlandmass.com website. We discussed and had to finalize votes for eminent domain takings. We've done this a few times, but we had to re-vote it with the actual amounts that the property owners are getting for us taking their property for the sidewalks for the downtown improvement project. We then heard from our town manager. We had an update on the fiscal year 21 budget process. So they have had a meeting with FinCom. It was a televised meeting on February 5th. Actually, it should have been February 4th. It was a Tuesday night. FinCom is not usually televised, but if you'd like to watch their whole meeting, because not many people are aware that it was televised, we will share the link with you so you can go ahead and watch that full budget meeting that happened between FinCom and some of our major departments. Not the schools yet. The schools are a slightly different process. They will be voting their own budget and then bringing that forward to us. We also had an update on Ashland-Holliston IMA regarding our animal control. As you may know, our animal control officer is shared between Ashland and Holliston. It's our officer, reports to our sergeants and police chief, and there were some questions with Holliston, so we will be looking at updating that agreement. And we wrapped up at about 10:30 on the 5th. Good meeting, a lot of great discussion regarding Eversource, regarding the dog park committee. A big thank you to the 4 young ladies from the Girl Scouts who came out and supported the dog park. They came from Troop 82051, so congratulations to them and to their leaders for getting them involved. And that wrapped up the meeting for February 5th, 2020 for our Ashland Select Board.